Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tales of Fate, the first stories. Thank you for joining this evening for a night of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Niall, I use he, him, and I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight. Now, the Tales of Fate, this is our second story, and this is the first stories where our players will be heading into the wilds of the desert to find maybe the library of first stories. Will they find it, or will they die along the way? Who knows? But let's meet the players first and have a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm Michael. I use he, him pronouns, as so does my character, Royce Devereaux. Royce is the former captain of the White Rose, a ship that sunk. So now he's journeyed inland to Zakhara and finds himself in the desert. He hangs out with Umberto, the hobgoblin, and he is a gentleman who likes the luxuries of life, conversation, fine wines, and also pleasures that you'll soon discover. He is a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy seeing what he gets up to. He also has a parrot called Pat Carrot, who is his conscience and most of his intelligence.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali, I use they them pronouns, and today I'm gonna make a fun service because I'm gonna play Umami, the druid slash rogue. It's gonna use they them pronouns. And you will notice that in the first 20 minutes that I don't know how to play a druid. But I'm here for the shenanigans and we'll see what happens.
Hello, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character Umberto. He is a hobgoblin barbarian, a fighter, a survivor. And okay, yeah, maybe a few years ago he might have made a boastful thing about how even fate herself couldn't affect him, and that might have had some repercussions here in the land of Zakhara, where your words do have meaning. He's fine. Don't worry about the old man. He's fine.
Hello, I'm Michael. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Atak Halal, a owlin druid. We'll see what happens and what's weird and strange spiritual sayings of the moons and stars I can come up with or steal, like unhonorably, from famous quotes.
Hello, I'm Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be playing Devon. Yes, I'm finally bringing a character that uses part of my username to a D&D game. Yay! He is a half-elf artificer who is a specialist in archaeology. He comes to the group partway through the story after getting caught up in some shenanigans. He's missing his left eye and left arm. Has a bit of a thing with Umami and the rest, and Royce. So let's see what shenanigans I can insert into this game.
Shenanigans.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection, and if you put !dice in chat, you can enter a raffle with a chance to win a set of Phoenix Dice of your own.
Big love to our D20 club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation and then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, mobile, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok by searching Roll Together RPG, or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And now, let's begin. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Tales of Fate, the first stories. Wait, is that what it's called? That's what I named it, right? Yes, it is.
Who are we? Where are we?
Oh gosh, we're in episode 2 of Tales of Fate, where our heroes are now traveling out into the desert after getting their camels, killing some civilians, and
I look at it and I was like, no, actually, yeah, they were civilians. They weren't the mercenaries. It was some. Yeah. Was it a dragonborn? Got a bit mouthy and
golden dragonborn, yeah. and I think his black dragonborn friend started to beat you with sticks, and you were not happy about that, so you hellish rebuked him.
Sorry about that. I mean, sorry, not sorry.
Yep. Don't ever apologize, Ali. Don't ever apologize.
I never apologize.
That's how I live my life. Anyway, you're out into the desert, making your way, and who is leading the group?
Oh, that would be moi.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That would make sense. Is it dark yet?
It is getting near to dark. It's getting to, I believe, the sun is starting to set.
The perfect time.
And you are leading them towards an oasis that you know is nearby. You are part of the clan of the Doob clan, and you know that there is an oasis nearby that the Doob clan frequently visit. Now, your clan is huge, made up of hundreds of tribes strong, so it's not likely that you'll know everyone, but you'll know each other as brothers and sisters and persons of familiar interest. So, you head that way? Is there anything in particular that you're doing as you're heading? Oh yeah, Ali?
No, that way.
I'm pointing dramatically.
Is there anything in particular that any of you guys are doing that you think your characters might be doing as you are heading away? Ali is just riding on, letting Atac lead the way, just looking down at the compass, just making sure you're on the... You've kind of had a conversation where it's like, we can't follow the compass right now because it's getting too late. We're going to go here. That's going to be better for us. But he seems to be focused on where the compass is pointing, and his attention does seem to be leaning towards that way. He is following the group, he's keeping up, but that's where his attention is.
I'm just looking.
Does he look confident that they know how to ward the compass, right?
He looks pretty, fine with it. He doesn't look confused. He looks quite resolute. Like he knows what he's doing, and he's trusting you guys.
Are we riding in single file, or basically I'll ask the people who live out here, being like, the best way to travel is like this, rather than us just spreading.
You'd struggle to do it any other way, especially when you're crossing if there's any dunes and sort of sandier areas. You actually have to follow one line because it's really difficult to be spread out because you want to travel along one side of the ridge. And basically, it's never in a straight line. It's quite difficult to go in an exact straight line. You almost have to meander your way around.
I like to think this is a conversation we had at the beginning where you were like, let me explain how this is going to work. The stars are going to be there, and we'll get back to the stars. But,
Well, it's quite impressive. Atac never really looks down. He's always looking up.
Oh, that's interesting, because Royce lived he's always looking at the stars as well, because it's how he used to navigate at sea. So he's riding along on the camel, telling stories to Pat. He's telling the story of the cruel queen at the moment, which is a constellation that is one of his favorites. So he's also looking up, but he's just being guided. He's happy to while away the minute speaking to his friend, and doesn't mind if anyone else can hear.
Left a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. Thank you, Pat. I'll tell you more of the story for that. Here's another peanut.
I think for me, this feels like I'm listening to an audio book. You know, being in the car, just
Absolutely is.
I mean, Royce is a great storyteller, and it's just that sort of thing of like, and then a little bit of like, occasionally being like, and then what happened? And then just enough to sort of like, get him back and distract from like, oh, I'm going to feed Pat peanuts. Being like, no, I kind of want to know about this legend. You know, it's just it's good noise. It's
happened for a while, and it's usually the way I lull you to sleep.
Yeah, being sort of on the campaign trail, being like, let me tell you more about my adventures
of the stars. Yeah.
All right. Ali, is there anything that Umami is doing?
I think Umami always keeps an eye on iTag. Does iTag usually
Just the one.
flies? The one that is left flies or walks?
ATAC can fly, but generally would walk. Ride on the camel with permission, of course.
So the eyes that stay focusing to the front, while iTag focuses on the up. I mean, Umami is also very attached to the stars, but is not as good navigant as iTag.
Excellent. So you guys are riding for about 3 hours, almost. As you arrive near to the oasis far away, you can see a group of people, a large group huddled around Sabria's oasis, which was named after one of your tribe's members from many, many generations ago, like long before you were ever even thought of. And you can see some of the 3,000 that hold your whole clan. There's probably about 80 there, all with their different animals that are being shepherded by your people. That is the main source of trade for your clan, the Doob clan. And that is them packing down. You can see little bits of music kind of catching on the air towards you, and you can start to smell the smells of food being cooked, and there's general joyous laughter in the distance. This feels like a homey moment.
Is there any particular way that if you were from the clan, you'd know how to approach a camp? Like, would there be a certain way to almost be like, we're one of you, don't be nervous? Or does it generally just welcome to anybody?
You would know that there's always a lookout, so that you would see that when you're coming forward, just a general shout of greeting is very polite to do, just to let someone know that you are coming. Anything that actually allows your presence to be known is seen as honorable, even if you were going to fight. So just being loud on your greeting would be enough. It's very, like, assassins and that kind of thing aren't looked well upon. If you were to sneak into a camp late at night, that would be very, very frowned upon. Even if you wanted to do so because you were having a bad day, like, you have to kind of make your presence known. It's part of letting everyone know that everyone's safe.
ATAC quite quietly goes, Royce, you'd like to proclaim loudly? Please announce that we are here.
Announce we're here. Okay, just we're here. Just shout we're here, yes?
Well,
yes.
Add any eloquent...
Frisson? Okay. Okay, little frisson. Okay, those guys over there, do they look like you?
Probably wearing similar dress, but our tribe's pretty multiracial, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot of humans a lot of humans make up the most of it, but you will find the odd like half elf, the odd tiefling, the odd owlin, the odd aarakocra, the odd halfling, the odd dwarf. But the humans make up the brunt of it.
Great. They're not all owlins. That's just, yes. That's what Royce was wondering. Then he'll stride the camel forth and then try and stand on the camel as I shout, "Ahoy, ahoy! Be ready, be ready! For joy unbridled is now in your midst. Royce is here and his crew. Hidaloo, hidaloo!" And I'm going to ride towards them.
I'm also
shouting.
laughing in character. That's just...
I look at Umberto like, his crew? Like, excuse me.
just laughing, and I'm just like, just go with it, mate. It's just, it's the style.
By the way, have we had like a rest in between, or is Umberto still like bleeding and half dead?
You'd still be a little bit rough. You haven't had time to short rest because you've been riding. But tonight will be hopefully safe enough to rest. You're in a big group. The likelihood of something dangerous happening is, well, supposedly low.
Sure.
Great.
Sure. Said the DM, laughing nervously.
So yeah, but Umberto is still a little bit rough and bruised up.
I mean, I got hit multiple times in the head, so I'm fine.
Not the first time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You can hear a call back to you, Royce, as you ride forward, almost like a singing greeting towards you, like ah, like that.
Great. I echo it like Freddie Mercury at Live Aid. Whatever they do, I'll echo.
Make a performance check. That is pretty much what starts to happen between the two of you.
Great.
Guidance. Sorry.
Well, there you go. You can't see it. It's ornate. It's a nat 20, everyone. Yay!
Hey-o!
That's the way to start the day. Yeah. Riding on the camel, singing. Yes, great.
You notice very quickly that the person that's singing back towards you isn't exactly the most musically ambitious, nor sound. Like they're struggling a little bit, but they're making the effort, and you really love that. You love the fact that they're making the effort, and you start to lead them as you get closer into a barrage of song with each other, which escalates and escalates and escalates, and they follow back. In fact, they follow back and they grab, you can see them as you're getting closer, grab like one of the other scouts and they're like, go on, join in. And you get like a little group of 3 of them all at the top of their voice, chanting, so that as you arrive, they help literally pick you up off the horse and settle you down and start like jumping around with you as you like start to get into this weird rave almost between yourselves of singing, and the 4 of you are all almost like in a weird mosh pit.
Hey, Zach, I love these people. Yeah!
I do just kind of gesture at ATAC going, this is what you wanted, right?
Nobody killed us.
It's got a good point there.
Ali, like, as Ali gets off the camel, he looks at you guys and he's like, this is normal, right?
I mean, with Royce, yeah.
I'm the new normal. Yeah!
I'd even love if he hadn't heard our conversation. He just loudly yelled.
Just said that anyway. That's yeah.
Yeah, completely on the top of his own head.
Yeah.
Ali is saying it in good humor. He's clearly enjoying the spectacle that is befalling him. And you guys are welcomed very much vehemently into the tribe. And you are sat down immediately into a fire. You guys are welcome. Did you, ATAC, Umami, do you make the effort to sort of say that you're the same people, that you're the same tribe, that you're from a different tribe?
Do we recognize any of the tapestries or out on the tents and stuff?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this is Doob Clan.
Yeah. Oh, no, what, like any of our, like, maybe Umami and I's actual, like, tribe themselves? Do we see any of ours?
Make an investigation check or a perception check.
I know it's rare, but
Yeah, there's 3,000 of you.
24.
Oh.
Oh.
Umami, are you having a little check?
Yes, but I think so. Being sort of inclined to the trade, probably I might recognize some faces. So, you say investigation or perception?
Whichever you prefer.
Perception.
Go for it.
23 as well.
Bloody hell, guys. Nice. All right, well, the two of you immediately look upon a tent which is marked in animal skins, and you know that tent. You know that tent from when you got together when there was a great calling for your tribe, where all the great leaders met and had a conversation about potential war. This has been like in your early days, but thankfully it was all quelled, all died down. But you met someone who left a lasting impression on you, called Zura El Shahidi. And Zura was half elf, and you found out that they had left their family behind a long time ago and come to live in the desert, and actually were part of the tribe before you. You met her when you were still quite young and before you'd gone to train and become a druid yourselves. And you haven't actually seen her since you left to go be a druid. So she hasn't bore witness to the people you grew up to be yet. She kind of knew you as younger, but you did form quite a strong bond with her. You weren't like kids, but you'd have been like young, older teenagers, younger adults before you went training, kind of thing. And you recognize all the skins because she was a great hunter.
How long ago, more or less?
How old are you guys now?
Late 30s.
Late 20s.
So probably like maybe just under 10 years ago.
Okay.
Probably 8 or 7 years ago.
I think I recognize Surah.
Yes. Maybe we should slip away. Intensity might not suit. Well, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars and some of us aren't.
I mean, it could be nice to catch up, you know? Like,
You're wild, ATAG. You're so wild. Love it.
maybe, I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since last time we see each other.
Do we have... What have we got? Have we got anything worth trading? Or should we just go say hello?
Stories are always nice to be tried. Royce, come here.
Yeah, I love being spoken to like a dog. Come on.
It's my thing.
What do you want? Oh, mummy.
I don't believe we have something worth trade, but all your repertoire of stories. So you better have a good one prepared. Wink, wink.
See, the wink means a sexy story, yes? You want a sexy? That's what I think with a wink. Wink. Okay, great. Love it. Got one.
I mean, to be fair, it was a wink, so...
Really sexy story. Okay. Wink, wink. Okay.
I look at Umberto like, stop enabling.
He's like,
I'm a bit of a troublemaker.
Who are we meeting?
I don't know. They seem to have really racy stories.
This suddenly became something I'm not interested in, so I'm going to go find somewhere to set up our camp.
I'll give you a hand with that if you need it. I think a little bit of distance probably isn't a bad idea at this point.
He's like, I want to see how the story goes.
So, like, look at Arlie and go, prepare yourself, because a wink story and then a wink story. Just,
Maybe Atak just like saddles slightly up to Umami. Just remember how dangerous she is.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'm regretting this already.
Yeah.
Mami starts walking towards the tent.
So
Wait
you
for
guys
me!
head into sort of where the fire is going, near to the oasis water pool. There's certainly song and music and dance going on where you are at. And Atac and Umberto, you head off further into the tents. Would you like to make a perception check just for like a good place to set up camp whilst these guys go into the actual camp proper for a party?
Somewhere nice and dark, not too flooded with candle or flames. Closest to the water for the animals.
Yeah, make a perception check for me, please.
24 again.
Excellent. You start to roll out at the perfect spot. It's quite far out from the beach side. Enough to have the animals be able to go there and drink water, enough for you to fill up, but enough for you to also be on the edge of this whole campment and still see in. And you can actually get a good vantage point at the whole camp, the whole desert, and the oasis itself. You're nice and lush on green grass, and you can actually camp down on something soft rather than just the sands as well, not being too rough. And in the very distance, you spot what could be classed as an outsider. Like, Royce doesn't really fit in with his garb. His garb is very piratey and flashy and fun. This person's wearing all black in the middle of the desert. And their hair is bright red. And they're parked at the very symmetrical side you are. So they clearly had the same thought, to be on a place where they can see everything, but on the other side of the camp. And you can see them walking from their tent towards the camp proper.
Strange.
I mean, all black in the desert, that's a strong aesthetic choice, I suppose, but...
Human.
Yeah. But I suppose your tribe, you take all sorts, as long as we don't cause trouble, then...
They seem to have like this band with large parts on them. They look like what you would recognize, Mike, as goggles. But whether or not Atac's seen sunglasses before is up to Atac. Because it's getting dark, they're just over his head.
Do they look any similarities to the dark assassin-like people that came into the tavern?
No.
This morning. Well, this afternoon.
Good question. They were just like, you!
No, they're not wearing anything. Yeah.
What about the camp itself? Is there anything I don't recognize, like goggles? I don't know what tech is like around here, if there's any.
It's quite low. Low. But it's something that I was kind of up to you whether or not you think you've seen something that's strange before.
Atac's basically a desert nomad, so I don't know if he'd have ever seen... Are you like hinting more at like airships, things like that? And if there is a pathway around here, then I've looked up. I'm looking at the sky all the time. I may have noticed something like that, but I don't know if I'm a very stupid person.
Oh.
I'm not very clever. I'm wise, I'm street smart, but I ain't doing no mathematics. So I probably, even if I saw something like that, I wouldn't particularly understand. I'd just be like, say something stupid, philosophical about it, and then move on.
Well, yes.
I recognize, I just wouldn't understand.
That is pretty much what you glean from it as you are picking up or putting down your tent.
So there is something sort of at that campsite.
Oh no, sorry. I was saying, if you don't think you'd recognize that any like the goggles or anything like the camp itself is just an ordinary campsite.
Yeah.
Everything else is normal. Just the presence of this stranger is something that stands out, especially with such a high perception score. Meanwhile, in the camp proper, you are being funneled in alongside Ali and Umami. Royce, you are almost being pushed forward into this large open circle where food is being cooked in the middle and shared out, and people are dancing and singing around the sides.
Yeah.
There's people there are people with drums and somebody with like a sitar playing music and singing. And Umami, you recognize straight away, eating from a bowl whilst laughing with some friends. You recognize her straight away due to the sword and the bow on her back that she always carries. As she turns, you see those wonderful green eyes sparkle towards you, and you remember Zura with her long dark hair.
I point at Royce. That is our contact. Zura, go and flatter her, please.
Okay,
Mention that you're my friend.
Mention that you're my friend. Yes? Yeah. Great. Okay. Just go and flatter her. Tell her she's like, great. What does she like?
Guidance.
I
don't know. I haven't seen her in 10 years, but
okay.
She's an amazing huntress, and you see that sword? Probably you can start with that thing.
Great. Okay. Tell her I love her weapons. Great. Strong woman. I love it already.
And don't show the obsidian. Don't show the obsidian.
Okay. What, this? Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to show that. Okay. Great.
As Royce sort of sidles over, I imagine finger gunning the whole way to the music that's being played.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just picking fruit off platters, chucking them up in the air, standing and catching them in my mouth, or knocking them off my elbow.
Stunning business.
Yeah.
All to the sound of Pat Carrot going, "He's amazing. He's the best."
That's it exactly. Yeah, he just whistles simply. Bang on.
As you're going over, Ali turns to Umami and just says, "She's got a good temperament, right?"
I don't remember. And then suddenly a memory of being scolded, almost killed. She taking a stick instead of the sword and just beating us up. Or at least me, I don't know about items. Yeah. Well, with age comes wisdom. Wisdom is always, good to have, I guess.
Ali shrugs and he goes, "I won't be sure about that."
Well, we are about to find out.
He nods. Fair enough. Royce.
Yeah. I think I've got lots of information already. So I walk towards this lady who's sat with long black hair flowing, a bow, sword. Her general demeanor, what does it look like?
Very relaxed.
Great.
She seems quite jovial at the moment, speaking to people that she knows. They're stood just having a chat. But she's kind of in profile to you, so you can see those she's got these wonderful flashing green eyes.
Great. Excellent. Royce boogieing up, guns, as you say. As I start to approach, I whisper over to Pat and I go, "Pat, entrance number 5. Pat knows exactly what that is. Pat's going to make a very loud shriek that's tuneful, and they're going to drop down my back so that as the sound goes up, Pat's wings are going to come up behind Royce, and Royce will strike a heroic pose looking like they have wings. And that happens as I get there.
Make a performance check for me, please.
Umami supports using thaumaturgy to low the lights that are, I mean, like spotlight kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'll spin into that as well. Now I know there's light. I'll spin wings. Can I fit? I will do the whole thing. So lights go down, spin, wings. And the sound happens. And then Royce says, Zakhara Shahi, I bring you a gift, and that gift is me. And let's see how that goes down, shall we? Well.
Folks, you can't deny he's shooting his shot. You gotta give it to him.
Is it persuasion or performance?
It's performance, I think.
Okay. Well, it's a 16.
Oh.
Guidance, D4.
Yeah, add the D4.
Oh, yes, D4.
Yeah, on Fireside, you've rolled a wonderful 18. As you turn into this wonderful spotlight. What's the song? What's the song that's going on behind you?
Wah, he's the greatest dancer in however that goes with tribal rhythms that I've ever seen. I'm on the yeah, that.
It just works. It just does. You don't know how these things work out for you, Royce. You just know that they do. And you turn and you pose, and she turns and she just starts laughing and she says, "Who are you?"
I say, my lady, my name is Royce Devereaux, Captain of the White Rose, and here to entertain you this evening.
Have you been shipwrecked?
Umami, yes.
Oh, Umami! And she grabs you by the shoulder, Royce, and pulls you with her as she goes to walk. She literally hands a food bowl to one of her friends, grabs you by the shoulder, walks over to Umami, and gives you both a big hug. And she kisses you both on the cheek as she's in the middle. She kisses you both on the cheek. She's like, "It's been so long since I've seen you." And she looks deep into your eyes, Umami. You forget how intense her stare can be sometimes. How are you?
Been rough lately, but tomorrow will be another day. And here we are. It's been ages, wasn't it?
It's been a long time since I've catch you riding my cattle.
Yeah, but, I mean, what can I say? But yeah, I'm here with Itak. Is somewhere, but yeah, he will be happy to see you.
And who's your handsome friend? And she shakes you playfully, Royce.
Is it like a bit rough? Am I surprised by how strong? What's the feeling behind it?
She's not. It's not at all. There's a lovely, warm gentleness to it.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's not. She's not being boisterous with you.
Right.
She is actually loving. It's a very loving hold. You do feel the strength behind her, but she's not using it.
No.
She literally dragged you with her.
Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Royce keeps the party always, jolly and entertained. And this is Ali. Ali, currently, calling my name not to be me is weird. And this is Ali. Am I Ali? Who am I? This is Ali, our current Patreon. Quite interesting person if you want to, spend a little bit of chat with them. And Umberto, do you remember Umberto? All full of... No, I don't think you have ever met
mutton
him.
chops.
Yeah.
Oh wait, she wouldn't have met you. She would never have met you.
I don't think so. I don't think
I could have met. I've been wandering around the desert and just been like, oh yeah, that guy.
You know what? I'm gonna roll for her. I'm gonna roll for her. She's literally like hobgoblin, mutton chops, grouchy. I think he has a wife and kids he's not seen for a while.
That the one and only. He's also traveling with us. It's a long story. But yeah, we're here just to get some intel and pass the night.
Intel?
Yes, we have a very interesting job.
Ali kind of shuffles a little uncomfortably. he takes out his hair and his long hair drops down. as he kind of gets a bit more comfortable, he goes, I'm gonna get some food.
Royce, keep an eye.
What? Just over there. Okay. Don't worry, I can.
I mean, he's not a local, so I don't want him to die or something.
Okay. Pat, keep looking at that guy, okay?
And
Pat
Royce
goes,
is the
"Got it," and
person-
flies off your shoulder.
Don't
You
worry,
can
Pat's
see
got it
that
covered.
Pat drops down to Ali's shoulder, and Ali looks up and then just gives like a little tickle to the chin.
So, have you just arrived here, or have you been long in the Oasis?
Been here one night so far. We're just having a little bit of a break, bit of a relaxing session. We might even go to the city next. Who knows? We'll see how the wind takes us. If there's any sandstorms, then we will head straight to the city. But yeah, we've had a very nice few days so far, traveling and coming.
Are you on hunting? Are you on trade? Like,
We have lots of babies to sell at the moment, so yes, trade is our main focus.
Good. And have you noticed anything strange? Like, I would describe the people that attacked us. Any sort of people like this around?
Somebody attacked you, and she gets very serious when she hears about this.
I think it was a misunderstanding, and choices were made, but yeah, we were attacked.
You protected yourself, defended yourself?
I might have gone a little bit extra, but yes, I did.
Well, as long as they can't fight you again, and then she claps you on the side.
Well, they will definitely not fight back. Yes.
Well, these city folk need to learn the harsh ways of the desert.
That's a lesson he won't forget.
If there is any kind of salute from the tribe, I will just more of the tribe for the warriors kind of thing. I will try to do it.
Yeah, you are well aware of the customs. It's usually just a singing cry of victory, usually. At this point, food is passed round to you, and you are able to eat stood up and talk. You can sit down if you'd like to. There are blankets and cushions provided.
I will actually. You know what? I think I'm gonna try to find Itak and Umberto, so I can introduce you to Umberto or reintroduce Umberto, and Itak will be happy to see you, and then maybe we can have a talk about some information that we might need for our job.
Of course. Happy to help. She turns to you, Roy, says, Umami, you start to leave and find Itak. And she grabs you by the shoulder and says, so, where's the ship I've heard so much about?
Let me tell you a story.
Great. Excellent. You're not keeping an eye on Ali, are you?
No, Pat carries.
Great. So
these eyes sound amazing. Royce is looking into these eyes and telling stories of his time at sea. But Pat Carrot is like an alarm. If something's going wrong, it's just going to be like a car alarm. Yeah. Yes, I should be doing the thing.
So, Atak, Umberto, you guys have finished setting up your camp. Where are you guys going to go next?
You know what? I think you should go and look through that tent, Umberto.
You're getting a bad feeling about that.
It's very far away, just to let you know. It's literally the other side of the camp.
I mean, if you need the tent to yourself, just say I can go somewhere else. But you don't need to send me around the oasis.
I'm just used to having Umami, and if I pointed something out to Umami, I generally do. Umami will check it out immediately.
Oh,
but
well,
something is technically against tribe, rules of fair.
Because I'm not tribe, I can.
Yeah, but then you'd also die really quick.
Yeah, well,
you're not even entitled to a trial if.
It's just they'll just jump me, right?
Yeah, if you can.
I mean, again, if you need the tent, you don't need to get me killed. I mean, I'm happy to.
It's just strange.
I don't. Did you get a feeling that we can't trust this guy? Because I could just go. Kind of looked a bit like I could go talk, be my charming self, and
If you can talk, I can watch, and trust me, that's generally very beneficial to most people.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, okay, let's. You gonna stay here or?
No, I'll just hover.
Just give me one last thing about the stars before I go to just.
Through all of my useless clothes.
Just staring at him, unblinking.
By the darkness, stars are revealed.
Good lad. oh, minis. All right, okay.
Can I try look conspicuous, please? Inconspicuous, not
Conspicuous.
Just like with your wings out. All right, excellent. So make a stealth check, please.
Oh, yeah.
Say again.
11.
11.
Oh wait, no. Pass without a trace. 22.
Beautiful.
Well,
Alright.
21.
Niall, how dark is it in the camp?
As you get into the camp proper, where the campfire is, there's also a wonderful moon currently being cast upon the sands. So it's actually quite easy to see at night right now as well. And that is kind of how you spotted this person so well with such detail. But the campfire itself is alight with flames and torches and sconces sort of set around the inner circle. So there's plenty of people like there. The hardest part is that it's just quite busy, really, more than anything. But it's only a group of 80, so eventually you'll find them.
Just so politely moving through. Again, big bulky guy, but being like, excuse me, sorry. Excuse me.
Umami, could you make me a perception check? And ATAC, can you also make me a perception check?
Ooh. 9.
8.
Great. ATAC,
Roll for initiative.
you focus so hard on keeping stealthy that you've lost sight of Umberto.
Shit.
You don't know where Umberto's gone. Umami, you've gone off to find ATAC, but they have hidden so well, you can't actually find them. So you both are just sort of going through the camp.
I've been in this situation before.
As we walk straight past each other at one point.
Both looking opposite ways. And then you stop, turn, and then go the other way.
I feel like I've been in this position before. Like, okay, instructions. Okay, if you can find me, step number 1: don't panic.
If you can't find me, and then it's gonna be one of those stupid only in the darkness can you see the stars. Which actually is a hint. That one.
If you don't get it, you just aren't thinking right. You know? That
Umberto.
clearly means I've gone hiding as I
feel like
search.
I'm doing Martin Luther King Jr. dirty there with that one, but
Yeah, I mean, you dropped Oscar Wilde earlier, so
Yeah.
just you know,
I've
banger
got
after
Robin
banger.
Williams. I've got what else have we got?
Hey, audience, if you could start putting, if you recognise what these quotes are from, put them in the chat.
Bonus points.
See
You
how
get
much
inspiration.
I've plagiarized the shit out of like every poet.
I think, although there might be other droids around, but I will start speaking in droidic.
Calling out.
Where are you, ITAC?
Umberto, can you make me an investigation check or a perception check, whichever you prefer?
I would like to do. Let's do a perception. Nat 20 for 21.
As you're like sort of like boom, 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 putting your way through, you immediately spot this red-haired person.
Go on, Ali.
Their backs to you, and they are eating food. Ali, did you have something to?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my items is the horn of the silent alarm, which I think now it makes sense why I chose it. So this horn has 4 charges. When you use an action to blow it, one creature of your choice can hear the horn's blare, provided the creature is in 600 feet of the horn and not defend. Another creature hears sounds coming from the horn. So I'm gonna use one of the charges to alarm Itak. Like, I think this is the thrill. In case you can see me, and there is just a drawing of the horn, and I just blow the horn.
Great.
Can I just
What does the horn sound like?
Oh. Ooh, this is important.
I don't know. Sounds like a I don't know, like an oboe, like very low, kind of thing.
You use a charge to cast this silent horn, so that the person that you want to that's right. The person who hears it is the only person that hears it, right?
Yeah.
As that horn goes off, Atac, as you're looking for where Alberto went, in your head you hear this low oboe, and you're like, oh, Umami's looking for me.
Can I just come up behind Umami and put my hand like around his mouth?
You don't know where Umami is.
You just know.
You just know
Yeah.
Umami's now looking for you whilst you're looking for Umberto.
Literally just get a text going, "Where are you?"
Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty
you know,
much
when you're at a
what's happening.
festival.
Yeah.
You've got a text that says, "Where are you?" and your phone
I'm near
just
main
died.
stage.
Yeah.
What side of main stage? There's like 1,000 people stood there.
You just text back like the star emoji. And we're like, no, that's not helpful.
We'll come back to you two.
Oh.
Umberto, you spot the red-haired person.
They are sitting outside their tent. Just
They're in the groups where the big group circle is.
oh,
You
okay.
also see Ali not too far away. You can also see Royce talking with someone who you feel is quite familiar, but you can't put your finger on it.
If I get food, is there space to be able to sit near them?
They're stood.
Oh, they're stood. They're just stood.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get food
With their back to you.
Okay. Rather temptation to like put a massive hand and be like, again, it's the weird thing. Umberto doesn't really care about this, but likes Atac and was like, hey, you know, my eyes are going, so they're probably if the Star Kid has noticed something, there's probably something up. But again, I think I'll get close to, like, if I'm standing near to them, does that seem like I'm standing there, or does that seem very much like I've walked over to be like, I am here? You know, I don't want to be threatening and be like, I am intimidating to you. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not intimidating, you're just walking over. They can't see you. They're not looking at you.
I'm going to try, like, can I angle it so I can see their face? Once again, not trying to be like...
You can start to curve around them.
Yeah.
As you curve around them, you can see that they have marks on their head where presumably these goggles have been pressed against them. They're now laying down just under their chin. They have quite a youthful face. Their skin is very tan, but you can tell that it's not a natural tan that would have happened from someone who lives here. This is someone who's traveled here and has been here for a very long time. They have red hair, but you can see the roots are actually brown, which suggests that it's been dyed. This is from your natural 20 perception check, by the way. So you can see that the hair suggests that it's actually dyed this bright red color. It is clean-shaven, short back and sides, and it almost sticks up and is very windswept with the sand. They're wearing black robes and have leathers strapped onto them as well. They don't seem to be sweating at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, they are not hot.
I think that's for me to judge now.
Yeah, I mean,
this old man in his 50s, like, oh, the kids. The kids that dyed hair.
Yeah, there might be an alert to this person, but not, they're not perspiring.
Yeah.
If you like bad boys, maybe.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
A lot of things can happen in the desert. Sort of. Okay, so...
sorry. One last thing.
One more thing, yeah.
Their left arm, their hand is made out of pure metal. And it's clearly mechanical. And that's the hand they're using to hold their bow.
Yeah. Okay, so we had the thing with ATAC not necessarily recognizing the goggles. Do you think it would be a thing that I would recognize having?
Do you think that's the kind of thing you might have seen before? It's up to you.
I mean, I said...
If you want to make a roll for it as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, as a mercenary, spent some time in the desert, also spent time in the city, moving around and being like... I think I'd be able to go, I can recognize a pair of, like, sun visors, but if it's sort of like, oh, that seems like high technology, something that it's just...
No, I think if you think you've moved around enough, you've done enough work with lots of different people, a lot of the traditionalists, people who live here, don't wear them because they've lived here for years. What's the need for them? They just avoid the sun when it's at its zenith, and they don't do stupid things. People who don't live here and want to just go exploring and things like that tend to try to find easy ways round things, and one of those things would be sun visors.
I think I'm just gonna sort of approach and stand nearby. I have a bottle with a little top and a little chain, which it just happens to be that I'm having a little drink in the corner. If they want to start having taken them in, it's just that sort of, I'm just standing here having a drink. It's fine. Everything's fine.
How close are you standing next to them? Like, are you in their peripheral vision?
And I think enough to be, like I keep saying about not wanting to be intimidating, without it being like, I'm standing right next to you, but enough that you would... Again, I'm a big guy, I've got red skin. You'd kind of catch me out the corner of your eye and be like, there is a hobgoblin standing there.
They slowly start to turn as they realise you're there.
Evening.
And they look up at you. How tall are you?
I'm like, I think I said I'm about 6'7" or something. I'm big.
Quite tall, yeah. They look up at you and they go, "Are you right there, pal?"
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude on your thoughts. Just, been on the back of the camel for too long. I'm just stretching, just get a little bit, trying to get away from the young people. No offense meant. Just having a bit of a drink. Sorry. Go back to your food. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it, mate. I get it, Yeah. Don't know many people around here. Have you come by yourself, or are you with others?
I've been asked to sort of. I've got some people who are travelling across the desert, and bit of a caravan guard, So. How about you? Sorry, don't want to intrude. How about yourself? How long have you been here?
In Zakhara, or?
I mean, both. Sort of look at it and like, again, I can't help but notice. Sorry, friend, but notice your gear. You look like you're freshly here. It's point at the goggles. Those are nice. I haven't seen stuff as nice as that in a while. Most people just end up with the black slit stuff. That's some good stuff you got there.
I guess I'm in the mercenary business myself.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I'm what the people would call a shayer. And with that, you know exactly what that is. That's someone who communes with genies.
I think very subtle was like raising the eyebrows. Wow. Exciting times. I think, again, everything's sort of clicking through and then being also like, also a missing arm. Interesting. Yeah, okay. How much would I know about genies in general? Because, I mean, we heard a story earlier about an unappreciative genie. Yeah.
Roll a history check.
Cool. It's a 7.
You know that genies populate this land quite vastly. That there's many different types. That the Zhan themselves are supposedly a kind of genie. The people who live out in the deserts. There are 4 types of genie. You know that. The common types. You know that supposedly there are evil genies and good genies that are somewhere in the middle. Some rule, some are trapped. They are forced to be respected and certainly not something that everyone can just commune with. A Sha'ir is someone who is very specifically chosen by a genie or by a group of genie to have that communion. They are just like their masters, unpredictable. Which kind you might be messing with. You could be messing with a very kind one, a very benevolent one. You could be messing with a nasty motherfucker.
I think, based on that, if it's okay to make an insight roll, because it's like to have that dropped and then be like, it's a little bit like if someone's like, yeah, cool, you know, I am part of like the military police, and you're just like, weird that you're telling me that, but yeah, I'm gonna make an insight roll just to be like,
I didn't do anything illegal.
I mean, I wouldn't know a crime if I saw it. That is
I wouldn't know a crime if I committed one.
It's a 17.
With a 17, this person told you that because you're a big... They were gently intimidating you. They were just letting you know that if you think you can rob them, or if you think you can push them around, you're going to be in trouble. They're quite streetwise, this person. They are all. You also realize they've told you next to nothing about themselves. Yeah. So they're not only streetwise, but they're street smart.
I think I sort of just put up a hand. I'm like, I'm just starting conversation with people. I've been traveling with people who aren't, well, one of them's incredibly chatty. I'm just, again, don't want to intrude into your business.
He points to Royce.
No, that's the shipwright. Yeah, no, he, sweet guy wants to get to know him, has a habit of running his mouth off. Yeah. Been in a few, like, it's a gesture at some of the markings from earlier in the day. It's like, good heart, though.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, we all have different people that we rely on. I just tend to keep family closer.
That's not a bad idea. I haven't seen my folks in a while, but again, you just sort of like kind of faux letting the guard down a bit. Like, I'm just starting conversations with people. Just
do you not still keep in touch with your family? Sorry, just
no.
Where I'm from, family is everything. It's very important. It's always interesting to hear.
No, it's I haven't seen my family in a few years. You know, it's, to be honest, you spend this time thinking, I'm going to do this for the money to, send it back, and then the best years of the kid's life's gone. Where is it you're from anyway? I'm across the seas. Came here when I was quite young, but yeah, where are you
from? Here.
Oh, you're actually from here.
I grew up in Zakhara.
It's
where are you from? Faerun?
I'm Faerunian, yeah. Grew up in Waterdeep, and
I've heard of Waterdeep.
It's
A great city.
It is. It's one. I'm sure the people of Waterdeep would say it's one of the best cities in the world. But sort of gesture around, you're like, there's real beauty out here.
Well, wait until they see the Golden Throne.
Now, does that mean anything to me?
Yeah. It's where the Calfee sits.
Yeah.
It's the heart of all of Zakhara.
I'm asking because that could be the sort of thing you're like, oh yes, you wait until the coming. You'll be like, interesting. No, it's a oh.
He was kind of sharing your.
He's sharing.
You were saying that this is a beautiful place, and he was sort of saying, yeah, I mean, possibly the capital is the most beautiful place ever, and the Golden Throne itself. He's suggesting he's been into the palace.
I was going to say to pick up on that, and he sort of look at him with like, speaking from experience, friend.
I like to travel. My family likes to travel.
Well,
keep up, and always recommend something to see when we get together again.
That's good. I take it I would never have seen the Golden Throne. That's not.
Make a D100 check.
We've established that I've had a very interesting life. I mean, that's a 63.
You were outside once. Like, you were outside the room.
Yeah.
You were close. You saw inside the room, but the door closed just before you got a good look.
I think I said, sort of like, the Golden Throne. Yeah, no, the Golden Throne. I mean, I was only ever lucky enough to be able to see it through, the slightest crack in the door. But, hey, it's always good to give yourself a reason to go back to a place. From what I've heard and from what you seem to be saying, it's a true marvel.
Aye, it's great. Do you partake in dancing, mate?
You asking?
Yes. I fancy it. It's been a while since I've stretched.
All right, then.
And there is a group already dancing, and that is why he suggested it. Like, you can see that there's a group going on. Royce is probably like elbow deep in this.
Like that. Yeah, that's good.
Let my career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go dance with this stranger. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Royce, do you want to make a performance check? Umberto, do you want to make a performance check?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, keep a hold of those numbers for me, boys. Atak and Umami. Atak, now that you've heard that Umami wants to find you, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I guess I'll split my attention to trying to catch Umami wherever they may be and trying to catch up with Umberto.
Okay.
And, well, not that I know yet, but totally and utterly not get a play or a sort of idea of what this guy's about at all.
Make a perception check.
I'm supposed to be good at this.
That is fate smiling upon you.
Player ever. 16.
16. Umami, do you want to make me a perception check as well, please?
What is it? Oh. 8.
You can see Umami looking around aimlessly for you in the distance.
Blowing on a silent horn still, or is that one hot thing?
Oh,
It's working.
Oh, you think
cannot hear
that's
it.
lovely? That's amazing. You think?
I almost picture like my passive at a trace of like walking in plain sight, but when it more forces people to just not look.
Look your way, yeah.
Yeah, and so Atak walks all the way right up into Umami's face, and then it's like when Umami actually focuses in, and then Atak's just stood there with half a smile on, like, "You called?"
Here you are. Yes. Where is everyone? Where's Umberto?
I made the mistake of trying to do a sting without you as the front facer, and I lost to Umberto. He's probably dead.
As you say that, what did you roll for performance checks, Royce and Umberto?
11. I wondered, am I still with Zakhara? Am I dancing with them? Great.
I got a 15, and then just have that sort of thing like, I'm coming. Wait a moment. Hello, you.
Hey.
Hey. How's
You also are introduced to this red-headed figure who's also dancing around sort of the similar area as you, and he is also really getting into it.
Great. Excellent. Who's your friend? What's your name, friend? And I extend a hand to the person with the red hair.
His hand grabs yours and he says, "My name is Andor."
Andor! Look at your handle! Wow! Look at that! That's cool!
Yeah, he shows you his other hand, which sparkles in the flames. He says, it's certainly something to behold.
Certainly is. How did that happen? This'll be a story, Zahar, just as good as my one. Yeah! Who wants a date?
He laughs and he says, I made a mistake a long time ago, and it's one that I'll never make again.
That sounds like a good story. Come on, tell me.
Make a persuasion check.
That's good. That's a 16 plus a 7.
Oh,
that's a 23.
He laughs and he grabs you by the collar and pulls you in really tight. And he whispers in your ear, I disappointed a master a long time ago, and for that disappointment they took my hand. And then he looks you in the eye and he says, but one day I'll choke them with it.
Yeah! Wow! Like, a master what?
He winks at you and he says, no, that's a secret.
Great. I like you. I like your new friend, Umberto. You pick good company.
I think I do.
ATAC, in the distance, you can see this red-headed figure leaning in, talking to Royce. Umberto is also there. Zakhara is not too far behind. Ali seems to be missing. You can't spot Ali.
No.
Hang on a minute. The old alarm system never went off?
Well, nothing. That would suggest that nothing untoward is happening.
Great.
Or the parrot's dead. One of the two.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Allah!
Not already.
You had an episode.
You're right. I did let my pride and joy go off with an NPC. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's already proved untrustworthy.
That's right.
ATAC and Umami, what are you guys doing as ATAC? You do notice the party going on. And also all the people that you're kind of looking for are all together.
I guess Umberto's alive. Huh.
Probably Royce is in the middle of the party.
And you just hear like, way! You're like, yeah.
And then there's a collective, way!
Where's our benefactor?
I asked Royce to keep an eye on them, so
I'll ask again. Where's our benefactor?
Royce is clearly partying.
Crowd surfing.
Absolutely, it's fun.
I actually don't know, and I'm a little bit concerned.
As for last Zakhara, if anybody has noticed someone sneaking away, she'd notice.
Shall we join the
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You get into the conga line.
Yeah.
Sneaking behind
ATAC.
Zakhara.
ATAC's a bit. What's the word? Bit of a awkward little fellow. He's not really into the whole dancing, and that's like kind of his culture as well. And he's a bit just sort of like.
It's not something that everybody's taking part in, though. It is very much an extroverted kind of thing. There's some people singing, some people chatting, some people dancing. There's like 80 people here. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone is taking part in it. You would happily sit out of this comfortably with a group of other people that are also
He's an
sitting.
observer.
Yeah.
An observer.
Yeah, that's not uncommon in your own people.
But I will kind of go towards a position where I can stand in the eye line of Zakhara, because it'd be rude to march up to someone while they're dancing and having a good time. And just wait there. Nice.
Yeah.
I think I've tried to sort of say hello to Zakhara as a kind of like, we know
Sorry,
each other from...
I've just looked at my notes. It's Zura.
Zura. I did not call her by the wrong name. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've been introduced. There's no way I've been chatting with my new mate Zura and you've introduced Andor.
Zura looks at you and says, like, Umberto straight away as soon as she sees you.
Hello, Zura. How you doing? How's your
Good.
travels?
It's been a long time. How is the wife and kids?
Oh, I mean, think back. Still haven't made it back. I'm sending the money, but they're last I heard they're well. You know, the kids must be about 8 by now. It's been
She puts an arm on your shoulder and she says, "You need to take a break one day, Umberto. You always work too hard." And she ruffles your hair.
One day. I mean, too much adventure out here, too much excitement.
Also, I didn't know you could dance.
I mean, I've been to a few taverns. I've been, it's like so starts to like shimmy shake a little bit. I'm like,
Dad dance.
Yeah, literally, yeah, just like, hey.
Dance.
She pulls you all out of the area and insists that you sit down. And she knows that Umami wants to talk. And what Umami said they were going to do. So they were going to go find everyone and bring everyone back. So she leads this to a natural conclusion to bring you all together and sit down, not privately, but not too overheard by people. It's not secluded, but it's not over either. She doesn't invite Andor because she knows that you're not part of the same group. It seems to be something that she knows. She knows that Andor's doing something separate.
Royce, where is Ali?
Oh, don't worry. They're over with Pat. Just
Make a perception check.
Oh, this is definitely one of my good things. Yeah. Oh, perception's on wisdom, isn't it? Actually, that's not too bad. That's a 15 plus 3, 18. Good tonight.
You can actually see Ali by the oasis. He's a little bit further out, just sat by himself.
He's gonna die.
It's out by the
With
oasis.
the parrot's on his shoulder.
Great. It's out by the oasis. I can go and get him if you like.
Is he having a private moment?
I mean,
I don't know. I can ask him.
I'll tell you what, Royce. No, that's he
Also,
knows.
I'm off. And I'm going to go and speak to Ali. Go and get Ali. Say that everyone wants to see him. Yeah.
Right.
Oasis I go.
You head over to Ali as he's not got any food or anything like that. He seems to have finished everything. He's just sat, and you can hear gentle murmurings between him and Pat.
Oh,
That's nice.
we're friends now.
Ali, how are you? If you want to come on in, we've just met this lovely lady called Zura.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go on. And he says, "It was lovely talking to you, Pat." And then he puts like a finger out for Pat to stand on and then passes it over to your shoulder.
Oh no, if Pat's happy there.
It's okay. And then
Right.
he puts like a hand on your shoulder and turns with you as you both walk up to the group and sit down together. Zura says, so, what do you want to know?
Well, we are looking for a location, and we have one lead to this. Have you heard about the River of Light?
No, she says, after a long pause.
Is she telling the truth?
Make an insight check. Yeah, she doesn't know.
How about a great library? Do you know anything about that?
She again pulls the same face as she thinks and ponders on this. I feel my father may have mentioned something about a great library before I left home.
Great. Did he say where it was?
I'm trying to remember. This was the library lost to time, but was at the same time timeless. He used to get us to do riddles and tricks and exercises of the mind as a way to keep us strengthened. This is something he loved, and surely a story about this kind of thing. I tried to forget all of it, really. I put the El Shahadi name behind me a long time ago. But I know it is a mythological place. It contains supposedly the lost histories of Zakhara.
Great.
Is there
But
anyone?
my father was a mad elf, so.
Is there anyone in the tribe that you think, like on camp right now, that could have some information? Any, like an elder? Is there any elder with us?
Zura is the elder.
Oh.
She's 230 years old. She's a half elf.
No, guys. Do you? I was expecting some pointers.
I mean, the information we've all got is all riddles, really. You know.
It's also about mention of wastelands, or no?
The frozen
Souls, yeah.
Oh, the frozen souls.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. You know something about that? Great.
Yeah, you're looking very dangerous territory. That's worm territory.
What?
Worm.
Sandworms.
The giant purple worms.
Oh.
Incredibly poisonous and dangerous. If you see one, run.
But not in too organized.
Leave the camels. Hopefully the camels will distract as they run, and they will pick the bigger sounds rather than the smaller sounds.
It's all in the vibrations.
I kind of like slightly gesture to comfort ATAC there because I'm like, oh, we probably can't leave the camels. You know, I suppose it's consent. But...
Yeah, Ali looks at you guys with the kind of look of like, well, I did think it'd be dangerous.
Hang on. These worms, they're big. Like, big.
Yes.
Big worms. Big desert worms, yeah.
Big worms.
Yeah.
Like could swallow 10 men whole.
Right. And they're
Sorry, you cut out then, Michael.
I think you gestured too hard, my friend, and you hit. And then clunk.
the frozen souls where the worms are. Two together.
Supposedly, yes. I have not seen them myself, but I've heard of people from the Dwarf clan have said that apparently further into Sandworm territory is frozen souls.
Great. So
Fingers frozen in time.
So we need to go past the great big, like, worm things to get where we need to go?
Potentially. You could avoid them, you never know.
If they even exist. I mean, have you ever seen one?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, they exist. Then,
Yeah,
yes.
very far in the distance.
Right.
But fate will be with you, and she kisses her head and blesses you.
Oh, thank you.
This
Umber just looks completely stressed out at that idea.
Oh yeah, fate will be with you. Yes, fate is very much with me, but it is not a good thing.
Fate, that's your thing, isn't it, Umberto?
So look up at Zero like you again. I think Zero might vaguely know that I'm cursed, from the talk. I'm like, I mean, my luck's got to change one day, right?
Maybe if you prayed for forgiveness more often, Umberto, but you're not really the praying type, so.
It's true. I mean, when I next time I go see my family, I'll go light a candle or something.
And don't forget, the night sky is a miracle of infitude. Infitude.
Point. What he says.
Well, I'm sorry I could not have been more of help, and hopefully I've been some help. But if there's anything else I can do for you, please let me know. Ollie graciously thanks her for all her help and says it's greatly appreciated.
The camp is set up and ready.
Is Andor still dancing?
He just sort of like coming out. As you do look over, he is coming out of that and sort of heading off.
I think I sort of lean into attack and go, well, I talked to you. Your redhead stranger, Andor, has a lot of involvement with the Jinn. I sort of gesture my hand. I'm like, I mean, it's a judgment, but I assume a missing limb might be, from what I know, there's a high payment for disappointing them, or indeed pleasing them. I mean, if we're going to an area that's full of the frozen souls, the shed of gratitude of being released, did all that. I mean, you're probably not wrong. There's something else going on there, but I don't know if that's the hornet nest we really want to kick at this point.
I wouldn't be able to tell you whether they were being truthful or not to you. I just couldn't tell.
This is why I'm loving this character. I'm just like, such an odd but very to the point thing to say bluntly to my face. I'm like, no, it's a good point. But I thought if you cared,
I do. Suspicious.
Right. Yeah. No. So to the evidence. Yeah. We've set up the camp if we want to. I mean, I assume we're heading off in the morning, sort of looking at ATAC again. Like, is that the plan?
If we can set off before light, that is preferable. It's also good for fortune.
Sure.
Great. So you all bed down for the night?
Yeah. I assume because we're expecting another...
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's still dancing going on, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit longer then. A little bit longer.
Yeah, you can do what you must. Do what you must.
Royce wants to go clubbing.
I'm in the club.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
But the rest of you...
Yeah, just sort of like going to Royce and like, well, I mean, you can take care of yourself. Just, we've got a long journey tomorrow. Just try not to vomit on the comet. Vomit on the comet. Don't vomit on the camels tomorrow.
Just sleep on the camel.
Look back at like time. I'm like, always been amazed that he could do that. Yeah.
When you can sleep on a ship, you can sleep on a camel. I mean, this is a ship of the desert after all. Yeah.
I think I got back at him. Like,
what?
Yeah. Which again, I think Rami does says that, and then like with my hand, I'm like, just don't. Just, yeah, okay. You have it. Hand on your shoulder. You have a good one. And if trouble comes, just probably we won't hear it, but
I'll
you
deal
take
with
care
it.
of it. You do. Also, gesture to the powder. I'm like, keep an eye on him, okay?
So the rest of you bed down for the night.
Sleepy peepees.
Whilst Royce, you stay up.
Yeah. Having a party with Zura. I'm keen to. I suppose I'll just ask for people's stories. I suppose of how they got there, as a way of learning more about people. Royce might be an idiot, but he's a personable idiot who likes to make associations because we move around the world, and if I meet another one of these people at some point in a scrape, they might back me in a altercation because we met once in a tent.
Make me a persuasion check and then make me a perception check.
Okay. Persuasion first. Yeah, come on.
Please.
It's a goodie. It's I've got +7 and it's a 17 on persuasion. So 24. And then what was the second one? Perception.
Perception, please.
That's not. Oh, no, that's wisdom as well. That's 11 + 3. That's 14.
With a 14, as you're talking and you're making friends, and you are making friends, you get to know the Doob clan very well, and you get to know Zura's tribe very well. She is nicknamed Desert Wind after the lesser god. Haku. She is very much about freeing people, and you find that a lot of people of this tribe are kind of outsiders, and Zura herself was an outsider to the clan, and she formed this tribe full of outsiders. Yes, there are people who are born into the tribe from having children with each other and things like that, and they are all considered Doob, but she came. The rumor is what she was like part of a noble elven household, and she left it all behind. And you find out these wonderful things, and you really integrate yourself with this clan, and you are considered family. Certainly, as branches of Atak and Umami. And as you're talking, just gently catching your eye, you noticed a cloaked figure enter the camp. You didn't get to talk to them, that you just noticed them passing in the distance. But nobody here was cloaked, just this one figure.
Do I notice that in conversation with others?
Yeah, whilst everyone else is talking.
Great.
You're like in the middle of conversation. It's not something that's like, you just notice it out of the corner of your eye.
Is it suspicious? I just want to know if I'd be suspicious enough in the reverie of everything to point it out to someone to say who would that be, or amidst a place of outsiders, would I just go, well, there's another outsider finding home?
I think that's up to you to infer that idea. They're in the middle of the camp. They're not like sneaking in, they're walking. They're not trying to hide. They're just cloaked.
I think from what you've just said and the idea of acceptance, I don't think that's going to cross Royce's mind. They're just going to think there's another person. Welcome to this place here. I think from what you've just said about the vibes of those hours, it's not going to, if that is something that's nefarious, it's not going to click with Royce. They're going to notice it. But in this world of acceptance, I don't think that's going to be something they'd go, ooh, have a look at that. I don't think so anyway, unless there's an insight check to do on that. I'm not sure.
I think if that's the choice, that's the choice.
That feels narratively, that feels right. Yeah.
So Royce, you spend a few hours later than everybody else, but eventually they start to go like, okay, it's time for bed now. We're going to bed. And presumably you would take the same stance, so you can party by yourself.
Dancing with myself. No, I'm not doing that. Well, maybe. No, I'll go and hit the hay, I suppose, having had a lovely evening.
So you all rest under the night sky and wake in the early hours still at night to be ready to travel the next morning. And that is where we'll take a break. We'll see you in about 5 to 10 minutes and start for part 2 of episode 2. Ciao. Hello, and welcome to part 2 of episode 2. Where we last left off, our heroes were bedding down for the night. And the first to awaken, everybody roll me a d20. Constitution saving throw. Let's make it a Constitution saving throw.
Wow.
For bladder? Or...
That's 13, which is an inauspicious start as a number.
23.
15.
15. Umberto with a 23. You wake up nice and early, fully rested before everyone else. Is there anything you'd like to...
It's incontinent.
Well, I'm an old man. I need to, we don't need to go into the details, and I've been drinking a lot of water because it's good to stay hydrated. Yes, anything. Umberto is a trained mercenary. He's been out here for a while. Is just getting ready to sort of. I think I talked about like chopping potatoes yesterday, which didn't pay off because we didn't have. But just to start going. The food here, we're mostly being given food, right? We're not having to make it ourselves.
Yeah.
I think. And are they also the sort of? Would they help us with like supplies and stuff? Is it that, or is it just you get the food while you're in the camp?
They would definitely. There is definitely the idea that you would be looked after as one of their own whilst you're there. But right now, you're like probably one of the first up. Like, there's not many people up in this morning.
Okay, I think
the sun hasn't even risen yet. It's still that early morning light that's just starting to bleed through the sky. You can still see the stars quite clearly.
I also, because when we were working out items, I was like, okay, I've got like a uncommon item. I was like, just something weird. I've got like an unending thing of coffee. So literally, I am just standing there like an old man looking at my birds, like just drinking coffee. I'm like, which is weird in the desert. It's not a smart drink, but I'm just like, oh, yeah, first cup of coffee of the morning. I think just generally taking things in, watching things. It's kind of quiet, which is nice. Just that sort of, for having been in the city for so long, just be like, yes, the desert. I'm just such an old man. I'm just like, the quiet, the desert. Also relatively like making sure I've packed stuff up, checking through my supplies, just generally. I don't want to wake the others, but also I assume Royce is very hungover. I just always assume that, but yeah.
What's your passive perception, Umberto?
It's an 11.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you're just kind of cracking on with things. You're doing your own thing. Umami, you're the next to rise. And at this point, there's a few more others in the camp itself that is actually starting to get up and get things started, breakfast on, that kind of thing.
Go out and Umberto, keeping an eye always. When do you get your coffee?
I'm just, again, sort of like, do you want coffee? I can get you coffee if you want.
Oh, no, I don't drink coffee. I'm just wondering, like, such a good drink for these situations.
Well, again, you'd know better than me, but I've always been told you should drink a hot drink when it's hot. Keeps you sweating. Good for the circulation.
Take a note. You're wise. You're wise. So much wisdom.
Thanks, Nai. Well, happy again. Should we wake the others? I mean, do we? Royce is literally going to be out of it until it's.
They got fairly drunk. Let him enjoy the rest, because I mean, clearly there is a long journey ahead of us. So,
well,
chill.
Yeah, sleep when you can. Smart.
Umami, as you're kind of stood talking to Umberto, you feel a presence next to you. And as you turn, Atac is looking up at you.
Jesus. Don't do that this early in the morning. Jesus. I'm diabetic.
I thought you would be used to it by now.
Our eyes. No. Like, no. I've told you the other day, and I repeat you, this is not acceptable behavior.
Well, 3 things cannot be hidden long. The sun, the moon, the stars, and also me.
You're really good to hide. I'm pretty sure you could hide from us, and we will never find you again. It's not a challenge.
He chuckles. He says, "I have a slight worry, though," and he gently pulls at your cloak.
I noticed the change maybe in the voice, like, oh, this is serious. And then he sort of crouch, short, kneel.
I have been having dreams lately. Bad dreams, and I feel that fate may be telling me to stay here tonight.
What you mean, should we spend one more day here, or as in you're not coming?
They hold your hand and they say, "Whenever the moon and the stars are set, whenever the wind is high, all night long, in the dark and the wet, a man goes riding by." And then just proceeds to turn and walk away.
I feel like Umami is just very respecting the decision, but at the same time not trying not to let go, and just accidentally grabs one of the feathers and just embrace it and look at Umberto and says,
Is he okay? Is he?
I mean, it has happened before. Remember the other time when we had to handle things, which is unfortunate because he is a navigator.
Yeah.
But Jesus, all that words. I mean, Jesus Christ. Umberto, please, with all your wisdom, can you please translate?
Well, I mean, from the little bit of time I've spent with him, and also getting to know fate. I mean, if fate has spoken to him, and from the little bit I was overhearing, if it's not that we are cursed, but it's him, it could be that he's just saved his own life. You know, going out with us might be bad luck to him, or who knows? Maybe he's in love. I haven't spent as much time with him as you. You know, maybe he's sneaking off to get his kisses. I'm not sure.
Umami, what's your passive perception?
Very bad. 15.
15's not too bad.
It's better than mine.
Okay, fine.
You notice from the tent, not too far from yours, Ali get out of the tent. They are wrapping themselves up into clothes, just shunking on a shoulder pauldron and clipping it in and making sure that the strap is nice and tight. They start to walk over to you guys. Everything okay?
We have a little situation here. The plan is still up. We are up. Umberto, maybe it's good that you wake up Royce.
I'll go. You go explain. I'll go wake up Royce. He's a very flaily waker upper. You know, he has intense dreams. Yeah.
Meaning probably you are like dragging him out of bed.
Get up.
That's a good question. Royce, what is the state that you are found in that Umberto finds you in your tent?
Think of a Renaissance painting where there's a body with just a blanket laying over your all-togethers. That is the position that Royce is found in. Yes, almost like painted by Caravaggio. Just splendid like that. Yes. And
where's Pat Carrot? Is Pat Carrot tucked up next to you?
Oh, no, sat watching. Pat's already up. Pat is set to alarm, and so as Umberto comes in, there is the perfect rendition of a cockerel. So yes, Pat rents a cockerel, cockadoodle woo, and at that point, Royce snaps completely up, is bolt upright, and wants to see who's just entered the tent. Oh, woo.
No, you're not that lucky tonight, Royce. It's just me. Morning, Pat. Morning,
It's
Royce.
always a good morning when I see you. Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, obviously, we'll need to seize the day, get out for my son's salutation, And Royce walks past Umberto out into the camp in just the little skin piece that he's got on, and begins a rigorous, yogic performance, which is how he wakes himself up. You know, shaking off the night before, going through a complex series of motions, taught to him many, many years ago by an old master.
Every morning.
Every morning, especially when they're trying to feign the fact they're not hungover. Yes, that's it.
I imagine it gets difficult when they go like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. But that's all sounds as well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and the woo, and waking up the voice as well. It's all very. It looks very impressive. I think, or at least Royce thinks. Yes.
This is not quite dawn, right, Niall? So still people fast asleep, and Royce is there going, ooh,
ah, ooh,
I think at this point, there'd probably be like a few like people who'd been drinking with Royce that would still be asleep right now. But most of the camp is kind of moving and awake, so the damage is not it's not harmful.
Is the camp moving on? Is that, or are they still sort of staying there? Is it?
They're gonna travel further towards the city today.
Cool. So we're going opposite directions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just just take a moment to appreciate how flexible Royce is, and just like
yeah. Well, depending upon the angle that you're looking at Royce while he's going through these exercises, it's going to be an interesting show. Side view from behind or full front. Royce doesn't mind.
Again.
What's the plan, Chief?
Well,
we're heading off.
We're heading off. Atax had a vision. It seems fate's turned against him. He's not coming. I sort of point. He's just disappeared. He's like, yeah, no, he's wandered. He's gone off. So it's just going to be just the four of us, it seems.
I see. The Dream 3 heading out together. Where's that Ali chap? He's coming too, yes?
Because we're doing this for him, but
Ali and Umami are stood next to each other. Ali's got 2 compasses in his hands, just for your information, right?
Great! So does that mean I get one of those doohickeys? Yeah! Hand it over!
Is that what you shout from like the other side of the camp?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ali like looks up as he hears your cries, and then
I'm walking straight over as well. Walking straight over.
I imagine Umberto is bringing the clothes and equipment.
Yeah, no, literally, so on my large hobgoblin, he's just like carrying everything. Pat's like, for God's sakes, man, put some trousers on.
Absolutely. If you think it's necessary, I'll put on my pantaloons. So, heading off quick, yeah? Just getting dressed, whatever. Absolutely fine.
As you approach, could you make me a perception check, please?
Ooh, that's 18 on the dice. Perception +3, so that's 21.
Nice. You see Ali kind of took it behind his wrist.
I see. Keeping it from me. I understand. Still got this. Bringing out a massive block of obsidian.
Where did you get that from?
What?
Did you have that in your trousers?
You're not wearing any trousers.
Yeah, I just put them on.
I thought you'd walked out naked, done all your stretching, and then walked over.
No. As we've just walked over there, I've been pulling on my pantaloons, and there's the massive rock. Yeah. I'm still shirtless, but I've now got my trousers. Here's my massive rock of obsidian.
Ali goes, not all. And then he leans behind your head with his hand and goes, I'm pretty sure we got something behind your ear. And he pulls out the compass from behind your ear. You've obviously seen the compass disappear into his wrist, so you know what he did and how he got it away. But he's clearly having fun with you.
Excellent. I love a bit of morning magic. Way!
I can see. He points down.
That's true. Yep. I'm not the only thing that wakes up this early.
Well,
Woof.
woof, yeah. Should we maybe try to follow these? And he holds the compass up into the air in front of you for all of you guys to see. He's given you one, Royce, and he's holding up his own scarab compass. You can see that the needle is pointing further into the sands, further into the desert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hesitant that our guide to the deserts literally just wandered off. But I mean,
And we have compasses.
I mean that's something. But we are aware that we were all there last night. There's worms out there. There's all sorts of stuff. Kind of look at Unami going, do you got an idea how to avoid purple worms, or have you experienced them?
Do I?
Maybe a history check or a nature check, whichever you prefer.
I feel like I know enough about them, but I'm not sure if I have come across. History, you said.
History on nature.
Both of 0. So I say let me think about it as I cast guidance on myself.
Just tap you on the head.
Oh, nice. That's 19 on the die. And a 1, so 30-20. 30-20.
Dirty.
Oh, I'm gonna
Nice.
play this as Nigella. I should have thought about that. Damn it. Sorry. I will slowly get into Nigella.
We've got another 2 episodes to just curve in.
I'm doing this for you fans. So
While he's slowly turning into...
yeah, for the fans, Ali. Of course, Nigella.
Of course, Miku Ave. Yeah.
So you know that with a dirty 20, that essentially it's usually loud noises. So usually large groups. Sometimes desert fights have been known to summon a purple worm before now. So the smaller groups of you, it's quite unlikely that you should get found by them. You know that usually they tend to spend their time in the Underdark, the world below this world, very far below. So you should be okay, really. Hopefully.
Is it still okay to use the camels?
Can I assess if any of us is wearing heavy armor that could be considered clanky?
I mean, Umberto, what are you wearing?
I'm a barbarian, so I'm in robes. I'm in desert crossing robes. So yeah.
Ali seems to be wearing the heaviest, metal plating out of all of you, but it's only half plate. They're not wearing a full plate suit. They're wearing stuff on their legs, on their forearms, and on one of their shoulders and their chest.
All right.
So it shouldn't and like it said, it'll follow the loudest sound. So worst comes to worst, if there's someone, if a purple one did come up, just get it to chase all the camels. You'll lose a lot of supplies, but you'll be alive.
As I remember, I've been always told to be just normally careful, but they attracted to noises, loud noises. So Royce, that is a watch out. I know you like to express yourself very openly, but just discreet, right?
Discreet.
And also, Umberto, when you rage,
got it.
we will be fine. I think so.
Great.
Ali, we told you, well, you've seen that the 4 of us is not here. They have decided is the best for them is to stay. So that means that we probably will need to find either now or on the way a 4-member, because I mean honestly, sometimes 4 is the right number of people. I mean, you.
They told me something cryptic. I mean, they told me to look at the stars, and when I turned around, they'd gone and left the scarab compass. So, who knows what they meant by that? But it's fine. And he like gently pats the 2 swords on his back. Like, I got you guys. Like, numbers are good, but yeah, I'll be more than helpful.
All right.
I'm good with a bow. And he just sort of like jangles the bow and the quiver.
I think I know we are, or at least me and ITAG are good at traveling in the desert. Is it the best time to depart?
Yeah, whilst it's still cool in the sort of before the midday sun.
I think we should use this time to move as far as we can before the desert starts claiming our endurance. So let's get ready to leave as soon as possible. Let's put your other shoes, Royce, please. Your other shoe.
Put on my other shirt. Okay, good. Okay, my other shirt, my good shirt. Okay, I'll put it on now. You never know who you're going to meet in the desert. Be they worms or women. I don't know. Let's see. Great. I'm going to put on a really good dress shirt. Bit flouncy on the cuffs. Yeah, special occasion.
Umberto, everything you need?
Yeah, no, already. Yeah.
We are ready to go, Ali. Whenever you want.
Yeah, let's head out. And Ali heads over to
Ali looking at me like, you are actually the one guiding us. Jesus, am I the new navigant?
It looks like you are. We're all looking at you so expectantly. You're like, yeah.
You'll notice that Ali doesn't question what's going on. If anything, they just go, yep, and they pull out a compass, and they seem to be fixated on this compass and where it's going to lead them.
Okay.
They didn't seem... Roll an insight check.
I was about to ask for it. Inside. 18.
Ooh. There's an aura of confidence around Ali to the point where you're like, you start to think that maybe they never needed a guide.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got those suspicions before. What to say? I said to Umberto, this is a point where Itak says something really wise, and then we just carry on as confident as we are. Well, onwards and forward. Stars, moon, shit. Let's go.
Let the stars be your compass. Yeah, no, just so the two of us just looking really like
talking from now on, Royce. You look very good with words.
Yeah, Royce, give us a quote about stars so we know.
Okay. If the stars are your guide and the sky is wide, then all the world is at your feet. Shall we go?
But it looks actually like, yeah, okay. I almost feel like I got inspiration. I know not in world, but just sort of like going, shit, okay.
Just in that moment, even Royce took a little bit of the same feeling.
Yeah.
That Amami had. So we've lost the guide, and we're going to head out into the desert. We were asking for information yesterday. However, this compass seems to be showing us the way to go anyway. Yes. Even Royce is kind of wondering, don't mind a bit of mercenary obsidian in my pocket, but what does he actually need us for?
Do you want to make an insight check as well, just on Ali's kind of general attitudes at the moment?
Yeah, because I assume it's something that Amami can't really say because he's standing right there. But Oh, good. Insight for me, that is a 8.
You're looking at him and you're like, hang on, that's a really nice scarf. And as he like kind of like puts it up over his head and like tucks his face into it, you're like, I need to get me one.
I go back to just find the most attractive piece of cloth I can, and I'll fashion the exact same head adornment to the best of my abilities.
Albeit a little tighter, because it's not as big.
That's it, exactly.
It's just really tight to your face.
But it's also been told to be quiet, so it also knows. Great.
Wonderful. Works perfectly. Excellent. You rise. Ha! You are going to the desert. Deserty. And who wants to make the fun highs or lows decision?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Umberto.
Oh, who wants to? Hida. Let's go lows.
The one that has business with fate. What?
Yeah, the one who's gonna get us jinxed. Yeah.
So you want to go for lows?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now roll me a d20 and tell me the outcome.
I can safely tell you that I have rolled a 19. Booyah! Fate smiles upon me and spits in my eye.
Excellent. You guys are riding into the desert, and as you're doing so, you're spending like a good couple of hours, and the sun starts to appear, and you are traveling upon the straight lines of the peaks of each sort of sand dune. And it's at that moment, as you're sort of like scratching your mutton chops, Umberto, thinking about, things have been going pretty well actually. So maybe like your fate is starting to look around, and then you feel this rumbling in the ground, and the very dune itself starts to tremor.
Oh. Fuck. I try and like whistle. I'm not gonna shout, but I'm gonna try and make a high-pitched whistle.
Make perception checks.
All of us.
Yeah, Ali's struggling to see what the issue is. His head is craning around, but he can't.
That's a 19 plus 3. It's 22 for me.
Great. And Ali, what did you get?
21.
21. Umberto?
16.
All three of you look at almost at the exact same time, and in the distance you can see one of the dunes split apart in sand as the curling of purple chitinous hide crawls through it, heading your direction.
I think it's time to ditch the camels. Royce leaps off his as quick as a flash, and we've been told that it's to do with sound. I'm going to slap that camel's bum and send it off, trying to rip off my bag as it goes.
Okay. All right. Do you want to make me an athletics check?
Yep. That's 11.
You sort of get dragged with the camel for a second.
Give me the... Yep, okay.
But then the bag does pop off, and you skitter around a little bit down the dune, but you've got your bag. Thankfully, you've still got hold of it.
And then I remain still.
Ali gets off the camel and takes the stuff off, then gets rid of the camel. Do you both copy Umberto and Rami?
Yeah.
No.
You're staying on the camel.
The camels are already too loud.
Excellent.
I think I'm about to sort of like, and then catch, and again look at Inami and like sort of point. I'm like, we keep 2 camels. Is that? So I nod and then just stroke the flank of the camel. I'm like,
Ali looks at you guys and goes, where do we go to now? Like, surely if we stay near here, we're going to attract it, right?
Opposite, like perpendicular to the camel. So probably, I think the worms are going to follow, hopefully, the camels. So let's go opposite to the camel.
Well, surely we've slapped them in the way away from the way we're going, because we're following the scarab compass.
Yeah.
So if we've slapped them that way, we carry on after waiting for a moment. We're going to stay here, and then we'll follow off when we think the coast is clear. Yes, Sally?
Yeah.
Somebody got above a 20 for their perception check, didn't they? It was Royce. Royce and Umami, you both in the distance see a stone sort of mountainside within the dune. You know that the creature would have to burrow through all that stone to get at you. It'd be less likely to hear you on the stone than it would the sand.
I extend my hand to Royce to try to pull into the camel, on top of the camel.
Love it.
Ooh, make an acrobatics check just for flair.
So, both of us who?
No, just Royce, I think.
Okay, acrobatics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cartwheeling across the back of the camel.
Ali up. Oh, 15 plus 5 for acrobatics. We're a dirty 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do a nice, almost like as your torso touches the side of the camel, you leap with your legs, and they almost do like a side flip onto the camel itself, with Umami's help pulling you up. Umberto, would you like to offer a handout to Ali?
Yeah.
Great. Ali does something similar. Ali almost like uses your hand and in a very swift jump that reaches a lot of height, like with one swift movement, jumps very high into the air without the spin. It's almost like pure strength, like a high jump, and lands on the camel and goes, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Does Ali look strong?
You've never you've always seen them wearing a lot of baggy clothes. You've never seen their skin. They don't really wear tight clothing. The coat that they had on before hid a lot, and they're wearing armor, a lot of baggy clothes. So they look like a normal person.
Also, because they weren't in the bar fight, so we've never actually seen him fight. We know he's got weapons.
But he'd made that jump with a full backpack and a full quiver, arrows, bow, and two long swords.
I'm going to lean forward and whisper in Umami's ear, there might be more to this Ali chap than meets the eye.
I got the same impression. He's very confident. And you know what? Confident people dies in the desert.
Well, I've got the obsidian, so we've got the money already. Yeah, let's go.
Troy, are you happy to see me, or is that the obsidian?
Both.
I think also, I still, as Ali has a little landed on the back, I kind of, again, give them a look of that kind. It's the mixture between, okay, yeah, that's impressive, but you're not paying me to ask these questions. Also, we're going to die out here, so yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Ali doesn't even question it. Ali's like, let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you all start to ride out away from this giant purple worm. Do you want to make perception checks?
Yeah. 12.
That is a 12 also.
30-20.
Ooh.
All of you see, as you're riding almost above a dune, you can see in the distance these camels running across what looks like an empty dune, but you can feel the and you can hear the shaking, and you can feel the ground itself moving, and you can hear a little as the camel screams in the distance, and from the side of them, the earth itself starts to open up, and a giant purple worm just swallows them whole, and they disappear, and you see a litany of chitinous hide moving further and further, and giving the impression that this worm is huge.
I hear Pat convey their shock at what just happened.
Holy shit!
I couldn't agree more, Pat.
I mean, that's a hell of a sight. Just because I assume these things are relatively rare. The fact we saw that's impressive, but thank God we weren't closer.
Ali like nods behind you, Umberto, and says, "Yeah, and you don't even want to see the back end if you think the front end's bad."
Umberto laughs. Again, just like, yeah. Oh, you. Yeah.
Cool. So you ride all the way to this rocky outcrop. You manage to start to make down camp as it becomes midday. You can use the caverns within this rocky outcrop as a bit of shade. And you all have a couple of hours to relax and drink, maybe eat if you wish to. Ali seems to be pacing the sides of the cavern, looking at the compass, trying to look out, not going straight into the sun, but looking out from the very edge of the cave mouth. But unfortunately, the compass is pointing to behind the caves, to behind this whole rocky outcrop, so he can't see where you're going. But it's starting to get hotter as well. Hotter and hotter as the day rises, even in this shade.
Ali, that was a really nice jump over the camel, especially with all that equipment. Aren't you like too hot for all of that?
Yeah, it's getting pretty hot.
I mean,
he starts to unstrap the shoulder pauldron.
I mean, if you need to take more off, I mean, none of us care, we're out in the desert to do what you need to survive.
He turns and looks at you all. Are you all just watching him?
Not really. It's just sort of like, I think just sort of generally futzing around with stuff. It's like the cleaning of weapons and the, sort of like getting the sand out of my clothing, just generally kind of downtime.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Siesta time.
Just straight out on the rocks.
Yeah. So we get there, shade up.
Tom, can I ask, were you just genuinely suggesting that, or do you want anything from Hagdar? Like, do you want him to...
Just sort of, I think having got the, oh yeah, how did you jump in that? And then him being like, oh, it is really hot. I am sort of just going, look, if you need to take anything off, take it off. We're not here to...
Neither creep.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Fair enough. I think because you're not actually trying to probe. Ali looks at you quite hardly for a second.
I think I look back up and I'm like,
yeah,
sort of shrug.
You share this moment where it's just like you can tell he's looking at you to see if you are probing, but seeing that you're not, he then starts to undress. Stripping off the armor pauldrons, he takes off the gauntlets, and then eventually the shirt comes off. And as it does, what you notice before all the muscular sort of things that you were looking for, all the signs of someone who is a well-trained, strong individual. Yes, the muscles are lean. Yes, the muscles are they're not huge, but they're very lean and taut. But his back and his body is littered with scars.
More scars than just he was in combat, or
like if he's been in combat, he's been in combat over 100 times.
I think from what I've said, I've also not quite stripped down, but I've taken off so I've also got scars, but nothing as much as that. And
there's almost like no limb that's free of one. And they're all shapes and sizes, so you can see the difference between what looks like an animal bite mark and what looks like a sword or a dagger or a blade or an arrow.
I think for the second time in 24 hours, I've been dealing with something where I'm like, this is above my pay grade. But just so I think to sort of he will catch me like looking at it, but not like, oh, look at that. Just being like, and then look at him, and they're just sort of quite sort of. It's not even like game recognized game. It's sort of like going, right, okay, just again like take it in and like, right, okay, back to polishing. Just
But in terms of what maybe you were looking for signs of some sort of like, do you know what I mean, greatness. He does just seem like a normal man that is very, very well, but he's so young. Like he's probably in his mid-20s.
Oh,
and he's got
Jesus.
the body of someone who's been fighting for years.
What the hell happened to you?
I mean, that's one way of putting it. No,
Not you, Umberto.
No, I was gonna say, you actually. I was like, you well know what's happened. Like points to right, my gut. You're like, you know how that one happened, but that's. Hey, if you've got all that, I'd hate to see what happened to the other guy.
Ali's like getting some water and dampening a cloth with it, and then just sort of slinging it over his neck, so that the water drips down his chest and the back of his head, and looks at you, Umami, as he sits down and just sort of says, with a sigh, "Yeah, I guess it would be accurate to say that the other guys are definitely dead. But yeah, just a lot of trouble. You get good at avoiding trouble after you've been in trouble for so long."
That one, the one on the right shoulder. What was that?
He looks at it and he says, "I'll be honest, I think it was so long ago I've forgotten."
You look very experienced for a young lad. How old are you?
"26.
Inside check.
also insight check, but more kind of 17.
Oh, good, because I got an 11.
Even with an 11, the pause was too long. There was a genuine thought process where he had to calculate how old he looks, and he's lying.
Yeah. I think I've just give Umberto, Royce, and I, we've spent time together to know, like, I'm gonna let this pass this time. And I said, well, Umberto, you need some skincare advice from this guy, because look, all the scars, he's 26, look at you, half of them.
And I look like I got run over by a cart. Yes, it's true. Especially out here in the desert. You certainly have been drinking your fluids. It's an impressive look, boss.
Good genes. He smiles. Is there anything else in particular anybody wants to broach? Because
we go like, shall we talk about our feelings, guys?
Yeah, sure. Should we just have a chat?
Did you? What happened last night with the lady?
Oh, just a good exchange of stories and views, and they were wonderful company. It was good to be amongst friends, people who tell stories about, where they've been, where they've come from. And the great thing about it was no one had a hidden agenda at all. Everyone told the exact truth. I could tell, because I can tell when people are telling the truth. And sometimes when people say things, they don't mean exactly what they say. And there's more to them. I see people as, what's that vegetable with so many layers? That's it, a cabbage. Yes, I see people as cabbages. And when you peel back the layers of those cabbages, you discover more. Isn't that right, Ali?
Ali, this guy, try him. Try to lie to him. He's a lie detector.
lie to Royce.
Yeah. Try it.
Okay.
I Oh, you don't have to lie to me. I'm good at telling good at telling the truth from people. You see, have you ever
Okay.
played Liar's Dice before? Liar's Dice is a wonderful game for getting to the truth.
Umami takes out his charlatan's die.
That's the stuff. We'll have to play sometime. We'll get some money. Anyway, you were saying, Ali, go.
I'll tell you what, I haven't played Charlatan's Dice, but I have played One Truth, One Lie.
Oh.
Well, we've got time. The sun is still high. Tell us your truth and tell us your lie.
Umami reaches into one of the camel's backs, one bottle of very strong liquor, 4 glasses.
Great, you start to pour out. Ali picks up one and raises it to you all. He gently sips on it. He looks at you all, sips it again. He leans forward and says, I have never seen an oasis as beautiful as the one last night. And I takes another sip. Have lost count of all the friends I've made along the way.
So you're telling me one of those is the truth and one of those is a lie, yes? Yeah. See, Ali, that's the thing with you. There's a lack of detail. You see, one of those things, I've never seen an oasis as beautiful as the one last night. I don't know how many oases you've seen in your life. You say you're 26, but I mean, hey, maybe you were born in an oasis. I'm not sure. And the other one, you've lost friends once again. These
Lost
things
count
have no specific. Lost
of
count.
how many friends I've made along the way.
Maybe you didn't care enough about them to count them from the first place. You see, Ali, you've never really given us much detail as to why we're here. And since I've got time to kill, I'd quite like to know exactly why us three are sat underneath this shade in the baking hot sun in the middle of the desert. Why do you need us? Because you see, I'd quite like to be one of those friends, and I want you to remember me.
Ali sits back next to the shop, puts it down and says, you have to play the game first. Which one's the truth?
Okay.
And which one's the lie?
Fine. You've seen more beautiful oases. I don't know, Ali. You seem to have lived a long time in your 26 years. You've seen. I sort of look around the rest. We've all lost people, you know. Maybe in your time you've lost count. Yeah, more beautiful. I mean, it was a lovely oasis. I'll give you that. But most beautiful. I mean, nah.
I think the opposite. I think you have been in really nice places. Actually, I think you are from a very nice place, more beautiful than this. And you cannot lose count of them because you remember every single one, just as you remember all your scars.
So again, we're playing a game here. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm happy to either way. You know, I was like, yeah. What are you thinking, Royce?
Yeah, Royce, but you're the one playing.
You're the decider.
Well, I just think, if I can speak freely, Ali, as friends, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I just think with both of those options, you can make the truth work for either. And I'm going to make a choice, and I'd like to look you directly in the eye when you tell me your response. So you'll tell me one more time. That oasis last night, just tell me once again what those truths are. And I'm going to be right there looking him right in the eye. And I want to be staring in his eyes as he says those two things. And maybe I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a tell.
Ali says, that was the most beautiful oasis I've ever seen last night. Make an insight check.
You chose insight, didn't you? Yeah, not 9. I was looking for something like sleight of hand, but okay, yeah.
You look at him, and maybe that was the most beautiful insight. You know, maybe it was.
Yeah.
He looks at you and he says, I've lost count of how many friends I've made along the way. Make an insight check.
That's 17.
Yes.
He has not lost count of all the friends he's made. You gather that there's a slight pain in his voice, and the truth is he's only made a few.
Oh.
And he would never forget. Unlike his scars, which he has forgotten. And you can tell because he looks down at the scar and then looks back at you. And you gather that that is him responding to Umami's comment. He can't remember all his scars because it happened so long ago for him. But he remembers his friends because he only makes a very few.
Then, as we're staring at each other, I'll hear both of those. I'm going to smile back at them. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for being honest with me. And that means the truth would be that was the best Oasis he's ever seen because he does remember his friends.
The lie would. Yeah,
the lie. Yeah. No, the lie would be that. Yes. So I'll then, far more enigmatically than I just managed, says, and I don't think you've forgotten any of your friends.
He smiles and puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, Royce, the reason I'm looking for the library of first stories is because it contains information on a friend that I need dearly. Not my friend, my father's friend. And I need help. And the reason you're here, and the reason you're both, all three of you, it was better when there was 4, is because I don't want it coming back to me. When this place is found, everyone is going to hear about it, and they need to hear about the adventurers that found it. And I need you to not mention me.
So you want us to take the glory of what we find?
Yes. That's why the library is yours to do with. I just need one book.
All right.
Or at least one piece of information. I hope it's in one book, but one can never be sure. That's all I ask, is that I have the time to find what I need to find. The library is yours. You can have everything in it. All of the glory that will come with it. All of the riches, all of the fame. I want none of it. In fact, I want you to forget my name. I would go to say that you only know his last name.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was literally just about to say, no, I was literally about to say, Ali, we don't really know your name.
Do you want to make a persuasion check?
Yes. Yes. That's what I'd really like to do. Come on, persuasion. Yes, 22. Oh, if there's one skill I've got.
He's a charming bastard. You got to give him that.
He smiles as he stands up and walks over to his bag. He pulls out one of his swords and a whetstone. And he sits back down opposite you. And you notice that he is looking at this sword. And when he pulls it out, it is a very clean blade. The blade is almost silver. It's that clean. It has markings. What languages does everyone speak?
Halfling.
Celestial, Infernal, and Druidic.
Common and Dwarvish.
The blade on the hilt in Celestial reads Hashim. And he sits down and he looks at that for a second too long and smiles and starts sharpening the sword and looks at you and he says, "My name is Hakna." But of course, you've already forgotten that. And then just continues to sharpen the sword.
All right then.
Nice. Well, we all have, past and emotional scars. I hope yours heal without a significant mark. And yeah, friends are important. So no. As long as this friend of yours is not a wall-destroying demon, is it?
Oh no. And he holds the sword up and he says, "I deal with demons the way everyone should," and just puts the sword back down and continues sharpening it. You notice that when you sort of look at the sword a little bit, actually, make me an Arcana check. Anyone, if you want to.
The magic's not Royce's world.
The magic.
So I'm going to let someone else make that check.
15.
7. I'm just sword.
Yeah, you behead a demon. That's what you do. Umami, you recognize a magic item when you see one, and that sword has got magical properties. It's finely crafted. It's beautiful.
Nice piece of work. Family. Get in touch?
It was my father's.
Has he mentioned his father before?
Yes, he did say it was to do with his father as one of the reasons he's here. And he's just used the past tense regarding his father.
Said he was looking for his father's friend.
Yeah. Oh, father, yeah, father. But
so
not his father when we were introduced.
No.
No.
I don't think so. Also, we have to remember that this library has been lost to everyone's knowledge. The fact it's I found my father's. There's some weird stuff going on here. Yeah, I think this is good to be asked about world-ending demons because it seems very I've looked up a book how to find Orcus.
Why is your father not finding his friend?
Because he's dead.
Condolences.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. Happened when I was younger.
How young? I mean, when you were 16. And I use it 16 for him to know that I know that he's lying.
He looks at you for a while, not threateningly, but you can see a decision's being made in his head. He continues to sharpen the sword, and he says, "So, I was never really good at hiding my age. Eventually somebody would figure it out. But when I was 23, I believe, was when my father died. I'm now... It's been over 1,000 years, so it's hard to keep track.
Kept hold of all memories of your friends. That's quite a feat.
There's only ever been a few.
Hang on. You're how old?
I think somewhere around 1,348.
Holy shit, you're looking great on it. What's your morning routine? stretches like I do? Because to be someone with a physique as wonderful as yours, I mean, you can't be human. That's what, and I look at the other two as if to go, look, I just worked it out. You can't. You're something else. What are you?
Very slow thumbs up to Royce. Like,
great.
Yeah. Well done, Royce.
Yeah. I guess human is maybe not what we'd call ourselves, but I'm not really like my people. I'm not like them at all. They live for a long time, usually die in battle. But I just haven't yet, I guess.
Because with the amount of scars you have, for them to heal over and so forth, there must be a point where you had more than one of those scars at any one time. And looking at the amount of wounds you have, you must have been close to death, surely. Because otherwise, you're going to make me feel like you're some kind of immortal. You're not immortal, are you?
Oh, no, I can die.
Oh.
You stick enough swords in me, I'll eventually die.
Eventually?
Yeah.
As far as you know. You haven't died yet.
Well, it's how I've seen our people die.
Right.
And who are those people? I mean, surely I'm saying the question we all want to know.
I mean, you're being very blunt about it, but yeah, to be honest.
My people are the Eternal Army, a force that is to keep balance in the universe, supposedly. They're people who live in another plane of existence, and we were supposedly created by the gods to keep balance in this world. We test those who we think need testing. We cull those who grow too strong, like gardeners, I suppose. But I didn't really grow up with my people. Like I said, when I was 23, my father died. I've been on your world ever since.
So was your father some sort of celestial being then, yeah?
We read celestial. We speak celestial. But I think that's just because it's the language of the gods. I don't really know what we are. If there's one thing I have learned on this wonderful planet of yours, it's that you can be anything you want to be.
So you
I'll
want
drink to that.
Yeah. You want to get back in touch with one of your people, then? Well, your father's friends.
Yeah, I have a name to go on. That's about it.
All right. Okay. I mean, to be honest, thank you for sharing with us. It's nice to know that once again you're not planning to call down the wrath of the gods upon us. But to be honest, you know, if we can help you find your people and find, but seems a noble reason.
I don't want to find my people.
Then, go on.
I want to make sure my people don't find me. A lot of these have been from my people, trying to kill me.
Oh.
They were the ones that killed my father.
Right. Okay. I mean, apologies for misunderstanding. Still, it's a noble. Fine. That's a noble goal. That's yeah. And so this friend of your father can help you vanish.
Maybe.
Okay. Just look at the other two. Like, yeah. No. I mean, again, thank you for explaining that. That does seem. Once again, it's above our pay grade, but, you know, if we can help you, you know, yeah, do what we can.
It's what he's paying us for, isn't it?
Well, also...
End of the day.
I mean, also everything that's in that library, you know. thousands of years worth of knowledge. You'll get look at Royce. We'll probably get statues. You know that, right? They're gonna.
Really?
I mean,
I'll probably see them.
yeah.
Great. Always fancied one of those.
Then you finally. That's what I said. You know, you told me that you wanted it, or you get ship named after you.
Ships. Yeah, a fleet, something like that. Oh, and I now feel that Royce's attention has gone away from interrogating this Hacknar alley and into the ideas and the dreams of a fleet named after him and his,
Having done that, I also feel like, from what I'm saying, like Ali's got that immortal sadness, right? Where it's just like, for saying, I'll probably see the statues, you know, sort of like going, it's that sort of thing of like going, he's been around for 1,000 years, and it's just.
Oh, he's thinking about that maybe a further future, and in terms of time, Royce can't see past the end of his nose.
He's not saying it with sadness. He's saying it with like a genuine, like, he believes that that's what you'll achieve when he's happy for you.
Oh. Well, he said something about being tested as well, which also spoke to Royce's heroic nature. Yeah, tested by the gods, or at least some sort of son of a god, or something like that. Yeah, God's son, something like that. Yeah, trials.
I take it we've never heard of the Eternal Army. That's just not.
You know, I reckon on a 19 or a 20, I'll give it to you. So if you make a history check.
Well, I'm a -2, so I'm pretty sure. I got 2.
I got 3, so I just again, it was just like going, cool. I'm a warrior. I don't hear the stories. I don't. Yeah.
Mommy.
I would like to roll. Yeah, history, right?
Could
13.
Yeah.
No, none of you have heard of the Eternal Army.
Sounds impressive.
So, hanging out with the wrong people and a lot of people around, I think I've come across with a lot of stories. And I think it's a little bit of relief kind of thing, like not knowing that there is not like a bad story about it. I might not, if it could be really, really bad, something that you need to know because you need to be careful about it, that should be around in terms of like information that is worth it to have and to sell. So it sort of settles me down in terms of, okay, fine. Unless he's lying to us, but fine.
Yeah. Ali like kind of nods and he goes like, well, I guess now that you guys know, I can probably make things easier for us. And he casts prestidigitation on you all to keep you cool.
Jesus Christ. You see why honesty is so important. For a minute, I thought you were going to say, now that I've been clear with you, let's have an orgy. And I was like, no, we're not that kind of crew. Thank you very much.
I feel like Royce might be. The time is spent away as Hacknar does completely, like, you kind of get a bit more of a fun side of it. He completely encourages Royce to talk about what ship he'd buy and talk about what he's going to do with all the money, and starts to kind of like egg him on. He's like, well, once you've got the library, you'll like be able to choose who comes back and forth from it. You could probably sell the books for one book from that library would probably like settle you for life. You could probably, even if you wanted to, probably start an adventurers guild from the library and go out and find all the hidden treasures across the land of Zakhara.
That's an excellent idea.
And you could be the captain of that library.
I'll be the captain of the library and the ships and a whole fleet. I'll have an office overlooking a gorgeous bay, a golden bay. And I'll call it... Yes, a commodore, an ambassador of sorts. Yes, this is excellent. Hackley, after this is all over, you're going away? You don't want to stick around for a bit, see this realized?
I'll come back in 10 years, see how you go.
10 years. You'll miss all the fun. You'll miss all the fun, but you'll be there for the pièce de résistance. I'll throw you a party, the best party that anyone's ever seen.
I'll bring you some wine from a vineyard that I've yet to go collect on.
Then I cannot wait. Oh, we'll drink to your health and my wealth. Yeah!
Hey!
I think we're playing with the charlatans dice, and then partway through I was like, no, using my dice set. Because so yeah, we're playing like Liar's Umami and I playing like Liar's dice, but also like listening to that in the background is like constant radio.
When we are fairly drunk, very fairly drunk, I go, Umberto, why do you still playing with me? You know my dice are magic.
I mean, there's a bit of fun of like coming in and knowing what the dice is already set, you know? It's fate. It's...
Question.
Yeah.
So, Isaac said that he was having dreams. Did you have dreams like fate touch dreams? Does fate talk to you?
I'm going to roll something. 11. You know, no, nothing particularly interesting. Your turn. Just again, so like eyes straight out, and then the big brown eyes look at you from my bushy brows, and then look down again. I'm like, nope, everything's fine.
18.
8. Yeah, he's lying.
You know, we've been together for a while. What's the point to keep lying to us? Like, listen, Ale just opened up with us, and everything seems, you know, it's about letting go. Let go control, you know? Let go. What's the worst thing could happen?
A mind flayer could eat your brain and then tell everyone your dirty secrets.
Put it on my shoulder. Exactly. I mean, I already got into, you know, gestures up and down himself because I had a nasty habit of running my mouth. You know, I had some success. I survived, and I got boastful. And as it turns out, when you kind of boast in these lands about your luck and how unkillable you are and how the Lady Fate smiles upon you, Fate itself does not appreciate that. But Fate has a good sense of humour. You know, a bit like, oh, friend there, I'm a survivor, but I get put through the ringer. I mean, we lost 2 camels, and I'm impressed. That's all we lost. Pauses. We also lost our navigator. I'm not saying that's my fault, but it's all, you know, it's all.
Wait a minute. Are you like a magnet for bad luck?
Interesting luck, I'd say.
I know a few people who have been cursed. It never works out well.
I was about to say, how did that work out for them? And then some looking with.
Are they still alive?
One of them is, but he's just ahead now.
Oh.
So maybe I've got that coming.
You have a nice head.
Oh no, it's all decrepit.
Oh, well.
Teeth are missing. Jewels for eyes.
Oh, wow. And that came from the curse, or trying to avoid the curse?
Bit of both.
And you're very, 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 very. I mean, you're using the word curse, Umberto. Like, you're very familiar. Are you cursed?
I think, and I'm sure some of you might agree, there's nothing worse than when the gods turn their eyes upon you. Yeah, it's the blessing is in itself a curse. That if, I mean, again, braggadocious, but fate has taken a particular interest in me and thinks, I don't know if, again, I personify her as a woman because that's what I learned when I was little, you know. When it comes to gambling or stuff, the last thing you want to do is provoke the name of the Lady of Fate. But
what about suspiciously running into a purple worm in a sort of safe zone.
The one thing that I was like, we need to be worried about this, and then one of the rare jewels of the desert decides to eat two of our camels. I mean, it's...
Whoa, that's a lot to take in.
this is
A
why...
very big shot.
That's why I don't talk about it.
You see, I've never seen you as someone that's fated or full of bad luck. I just think with you, opportunity's just round the corner. More often than it happens to other people. That's why I like sticking around with you. You see, Umberto, if I chose a companion who was vanilla, good luck all the time, one, they'd always show me up, and two, I'd never have the adventures that we've had.
That's kind of honestly considers it. It's like that's a nice way of putting it, Royce. Yeah, I mean,
Until somebody dies.
Everyone's got to die sometime.
And sometimes it's more dramatic than others.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you tried apologizing?
You know, you're the second person in the last 24 hours that suggested that. I wouldn't... I mean, I've done apologies on my knees in the middle of the desert, but... obviously not enough. I don't know how. I mean, there's words, but... actions, maybe? I mean, do I need to go light a candle somewhere? Do I have to go dedicate a death? I'm not...
Well,
I get...
This land has many secrets, and maybe we'll find one in the library. But one of the greatest secrets was the woman who spoke to fate.
Really?
The lawgiver.
The lawgiver. I'm just going to quickly roll history. 8. Just, again, Umberto just doesn't listen to these stories. Really?
Even with an 8, the lawgiver is so ingrained within the society that you know who she is. You might not know the full story, but she is the woman who wrote the laws. And the laws that were given to her by fate.
When you say laws, are you spelling that L-A-W or L-O-R-E?
L-A-W, but she is the L-O-R-E giver.
So she's a lawgiver and she wrote the laws.
Yeah.
Great. What a language, eh?
How fun.
We're all having fun in this cave.
Yeah.
Right, so the lawgiver talked to fate. But that was ages ago. That's centuries ago. I mean, do we know how? Did they just call on fate? I mean, I accidentally called on fate by being all, well, just 23 and full of it. But as we said, I suppose if there's a book, you know, if any information is going to be in an ancient library, maybe it'll be that.
I don't know. I wasn't. Yeah, these lands are fairly new to me. The last time I was here was over 100 years ago. So.
Wow. Has it changed a lot then?
No. But it changed a lot quite a long time ago. But I'd never been here at that point. I was in Faerun.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Waterdeep, you know, so... Again, it's not as exciting, but... What's your favourite place you've ever been? You know, what sang to you?
Weirdly, I like the desert here and the way that life grows, regardless of how barren the wasteland can be.
Yeah,
life finds a way. Yeah.
Keeps me going. Anyway, let's get out of here. Sun's getting low.
Sun getting real low.
So you guys head out into the sun. Still warm lands, but now Haknar is keeping you just cooler by prestidigitating you guys every now and then. Just dropping little temperatures for you here and there. And you can see in the distance from the rocky outcrop as you turn and go around it, you can see the desert, and in them figures. But they're still.
Oh. Yeah. This sort of, again, sort of, do you think this is the people got cursed by the Jinn, the frozen? Do you think we finally made it?
I think so. Should we go on foot for the rest of it, or still ride the camels?
Well, let's go on foot, but with the camels on the hand.
Let's keep the camels close, yeah.
Okay, you all hop off. Umami and Umberto presumably leading the camels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask Pat to have a quick fly ahead, just to go and see what they can see.
Yeah. Pat flies off ahead as you all walk in. As you start to approach the first figure in the sand, you can see now that it's a statue, and the statue seems to be running away.
Oh, so running
frozen.
Back away from. So we're going towards, running towards us.
And Pat flies overhead and says, "Lots of statues, lots of statues."
Well, I don't think I need to tell you all that they all seem to be exactly the same as our friend here.
I mean, so what was it? We were looking for this, and then like the River of Light. So I guess compass is right. We are going the right way.
Ali wanders ahead with the compass. Do you guys?
What were they running from? Ali,
Oh.
do you have any idea what they were running from? What were they running? This genie?
The Jinn.
Ali goes to turn, but then sort of goes, huh. And he's like a good 30 feet ahead of you. At this point, he was kind of getting a bit excited. But his foot seems stuck in the sand, and you notice that his boot is kind of submerged slightly. And he turns and looks at you guys and says, huh, I think my foot's stuck. And as he says that, he just starts to sink
Shit.
whole leg in.
And rope
as
as quick
you
as...
start to get your rope out, you notice the statues that were running start to move and crack apart, and then their heads turn towards you. And that is where we'll end today's
Very rude!
Oh, no!
session. Thank you very much for joining our wonderful session of episode 2, Tales of Fate, the first stories. We will see you guys next time for episode 3. See you then!
Bye!
Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's session. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, you can catch us on Mondays and Tuesdays from 6 p.m. UK time, where we play Dungeons and Dragons, and also on Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time, where we play other TTRPGs. You can also find us on YouTube on either Wednesdays or Thursdays, where we do our talk shows. Talking is a free action, or Talk Together. Due to schedules, they're not every week. Just follow us on social media and join our Discord to see when those episodes will be going live. Speaking of YouTube, if you are watching on YouTube, please do give us a like, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. Comment down below. It helps with the algorithms so that we can see what you like and what we should be doing more of. You can find us all over social media as Roll Together RPG, and a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. We love them. They are the best. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. You can join them from as little as $1 of your local currency per month, or 1 goat, which must be sent to Tom, by following the links in chat or in the description below. There are 2 different tiers that you can join with different benefits, so go give those a look. You can also join our Discord, as mentioned before, again by following the links in chat or in the description below. And we will see you next week for more Roll Together adventures.